The top stories tonight in Y News. The Muntinlupa City Regional Trial Court Branch 204 acquits former Senator Leila de Lima in one of her two remaining drug cases today. A Senate panel plans to recommend amendments to several laws as part of the results of hours-long investigation into the Degamo assassination and cases of killings in the province. The Department of Information and Communications Technology probes into the unauthorized fund transfer incident involving GCash. And the United Kingdom seeks to provide long-range missiles after Ukraine makes requests for supplies. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Friday, May 12, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I'm William Theo. First in the news, former Senator Leila de Lima is optimistic that she will be acquitted in all of her drug-related cases. Dante Amento tells us why.
The Muntinlupa City Regional Trial Court or RTC Branch 204 acquitted former Senator Leila de Lima in one of her two remaining drug cases today, May 12. The court ruled that there was reasonable doubt over the accusation that de Lima received 10 million pesos, sum of the money, from the illegal drug trade inside the New Bilibid Prison or NBP. In a statement read by her lawyer, Attorney Bonita Cardon, de Lima said she is optimistic that all her illegal drug cases will be dismissed.
I had no doubt from the very beginning that I will be acquitted in all the cases the Duterte regime has fabricated against me, based on the merits and strength of my innocence.
In today's promulgation of judgment in her case, the former legislator expressed confidence in her acquittal.
I'm excited yet nervous, but confident that truth and justice will win today.
Attorney Tacardon added that the court considered the recantation of testimony by former Bureau of Corrections or Bucor OIC Rafael Ragos against de Lima, leading to her acquittal.
Binanggit din ng hukuman na importante ang naging recantation ni Deputy Director Ragos dahil nung binawi niya itong salaysay nung wala ng tuluyan ang basehan ng akusasyon sa niya at nagkaroon ng reasonable doubt sa akusasyon laban kay Senator Leila de Lima, at kaya dahil dito Senator Leila de Lima was acquitted based on reasonable doubt.
De Lima expressed gratitude to all her supporters and offered prayers for herself.
Maraming salamat sa dasal. Humihingi pa rin po ako ng mas maraming dasal para ho sa isang kaso. Maraming salamat. Glorious day, beginning of my vindication.
Meanwhile, the panel of prosecutors said that it respects the court's decision on the case.
Not regret the integrity of the decision. But we respect the decision of the court.
On the other hand, de Lima's camp is waiting for the resolution of their petition for bail. This was filed before the Muntinlupa RTC Branch 256 on her remaining drug case. Attorney Tacardon said they aim for the ruling to be out before the next hearing in June 2023. If the court grants her request, de Lima will obtain her temporary liberty.
Umaasa kami na sana mailabas yung resolusyon ng application for bail ni Senator Leila de Lima at ang ibang mga kasama naming akusado sa kaso na yon bago dumating ang petsang June 5, 2023.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Several supporters welcomed the acquittal of former Senator Leila de Lima in one of her two remaining drug cases by the Muntinlupa City Regional Trial Court, believing that they are close to getting her out of prison. Gladys Tuwabi will tell us why.
Following the the acquittal of former Senator Leila de Lima in one of her 2 remaining drug cases today, May 12. Her supporters said she lost 6.5 years of her life. According to former presidential advisor on the peace process, Teresita Gindelis, it is hard to forget it.
She deserves every blessing that she will get to be able to be free at malaman ng lahat. We are thanking, of course, the court for a decision here that really shows na truth and justice will prevail, and yun yung aming panghahawakan.
Former senatorial candidate Attorney Chel Jokno hopes that De Lima will also be allowed to post bail.
We're so happy that justice has been served. I'm so happy for Sen. Leila de Lima. Sana makalaya na siya in the coming days. Well, of course, we are very optimistic. We hope that she will be granted bail. It's about time na maibalik sa kanya yung kanyang kalayaan.
Former Commission on Higher Education or CHED chairperson Patricia Licuanan said that the acquittal of De Lima shows little hope in the Philippines justice system. As for the Bunyo Pagkakaisa group, they will not stop supporting the former senator until she is released.
Tutan po ng tinik ang aking puso dahil isang tagumpay ito sa mga taong nagpupursige na ibigay ang tamang hustisya para sa kanya. Hanggat hindi lumalayat, hanggat bulok ang sistema ng hustisya ng Pilipinas, maninindigan ang bunyog na dapat umiral ang tunay na hustisya ng bansa. Free Lila now!
For University of the Philippines professor and convener of Every Woman page, Sylvia Claudio, she believes that De Lima will also be acquitted in another remaining case, now that the 2 previous lawsuits against her have been dismissed.
Kasi dismiss na po ang 2 kaso, isa na lang. At yung pangatlong kaso po, nakatayo yun doon sa 2 kasong nauna. Kaya kami po ay very optimistic na matatapos na ito. Dahil po sa desisyon ng ating judge ngayon, nanunumbalik po ang aming pagtiwala na may pag-asa po ang sistemang hustisya sa ating bayan.
This acquittal is bittersweet, she added, because the senator was proven not guilty but was imprisoned for over 6 years. Supporters of the former senator believe that they are close to getting her out of prison. Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, believes that the country can implement measures to mitigate the impact of El Nino. Agricultural groups emphasize that the impact of El Nino on agriculture should not be downplayed. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
Agriculture performance in the first quarter of 2023 increased by 2.1% according to the latest survey of the Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA. The increase is attributed to the higher production of rice, corn, and livestock. The National Economic and Development Authority, or NEDA, states that agriculture is one of the sectors vulnerable to the effect of El Nino. The worst impact of a strong El Nino in the country caused a 20% reduction in rice production. On the other side, a weak El Nino could lead to a decrease in agricultural production by 1 to 2%.
But I think I might want to call it a blessing in disguise, but the good thing about our economy now is that agriculture is only now 10% roughly, no, of our national income, of our GDP. No?
However, agricultural groups argue that the impact of El Nino on agriculture should not be downplayed.
Kahit na sabihin natin ganitong porsyento lang ang pagbawas ng produksyon halimbawa ng palay gawa ng El Nino, magkakaroon po yan ng significant na effect sa lahat po ng households.
Malaki yung contribution ng agriculture because hindi mo lang dapat tingnan ng agriculture on the basis of the production per se of agriculture products. Tingnan mo yung pupuntahan ng produkto, yung nakikinabang dun sa produkto na yan.
NEDA believes that the impact of El Nino can be mitigated due to the lessons learned from previous episodes of this phenomenon. Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
for our news abroad. The United Kingdom is set to provide long-range missiles after Ukraine made requests for supplies. Ani Reyes Mancilia details why live. Yes, Annie?
Kath, Ukraine is set to receive Storm Shadow cruise missiles from the United Kingdom. A long-range missile with a range of 250 kilometers, giving them an edge against Russia. The announcement was made to the House of Commons by the United Kingdom's Defense Secretary Ben Wallace, who stated that the missiles will help Ukraine fight off Russian forces. In comparison to the HIMARS missiles, which have an 80-kilometer range, according to Secretary Wallace, the Storm Shadow will give Ukraine the better chance of defense. The Storm Shadow cruise missiles work by traveling at a lower altitude after being deployed to prevent being detected by the enemy raiders, then using an infrared system to target the enemy. However, Russia still has an advantage as their own missiles have longer range compared to the Shadow cruise missiles. Meanwhile, even if Ukraine had access to longer range missiles, they have guaranteed the European Union not to target and attack territories within Russia itself, as stated by Ukrainian Defense Minister Reznikov. Back to you, Kath.
Thank you, Ani Reyes Mancilia, for that report live from Singapore. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, William.
Thank you, Kath. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. A Senate panel is looking into recommending amendments to several laws as part of the results of hours-long investigation into the Digamo assassination and cases of killings in the province. Harleen Delgado will tell us why.
The Senate Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs will now craft its committee report containing the findings and recommendations from the panel's inquiry into the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Digamo and cases of violence in the province. This as the panel wrapped up its hearing last night. Its chairperson, Senator Ronald Bato Dela Rosa, maintains they were able to shed light on various cases tackled during the course of the proceedings. However, he believes neither of the Digamos nor the Teveses can claim pure innocence.
Nobody can claim from both camps na they are absolutely clean. Kasi may mga allegations May mga allegations. At alam natin, yung mga allegations na yun ay meron talagang weight at may katotohanan.
On the Digamo Slay case, the senator places his full trust in the Department of Justice. Dela Rosa says the panel will have to study first the possible recommendations for suspended Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnolfo Arnie Teves Jr.
All the evidences are leading towards kaso lang hindi natin gaano natas yung kaso ni Digamo, di ba? Dahil nga nakapokus tayo sa ibang kaso dahil nakiusap yung DOJ na yung mga nahuli nila na mga suspects ay huwag munang isama dito sa hearing para hindi ma-compromise yung case build-up nila.
The Senate panel is eyeing to recommend amendments to the Local Government Code of the Philippines to ensure that the Philippine National Police and not the local government officials will have the sole authority to appoint heads of police and localities.
The PNP itself, themselves, knows the merit and fitness of these officers. So alam nila kung sino karapat dapat na ilagay dyan without any political intervention. Alam nila. So mawala na yung palakasan sa mga politiko. Minimize yan, if not totally eliminated, pag wala ng utang na loob yung police doon sa politiko.
Dela Rosa adds they will study to recommend the imposition of death penalty to former police and military members who are involved in private armies and to politicians who finance them. The lawmaker vows to finalize the committee report before the election period starts in August to consider the proposed postponement of the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections in Negros Oriental. Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Department of Agriculture assured the public that the use of biofertilizers will not repeat the fertilizer fund scam in 2004. According to an agri official, the memorandum circular that they have released will serve as guidelines for the distribution of biofertilizers. Nel Maribohok will tell us why.
The Department of Agriculture explained that the Memorandum Circular Number 32 aims to prevent new fertilizer scam. This is according to DA Undersecretary Leocadio Sebastian amid questions on the basis for the issuance of the said memo and fear of a repeat of the 2004 fertilizer fund scam in which the DA's fertilizer funds were allegedly diverted and used for re-election.
Tayo naman ay natuto na sa nakaraan. Yung lessons from the previous fertilizer scam is still very fresh in our mind. So ayaw namin na mangyari ulit yung ganun.
Senator Risa Hontiveros on Thursday filed a resolution seeking an inquiry into the said memorandum. The resolution called for a study to determine if biofertilizer is indeed more cost-effective and increases rice farmers' yield. Yusek Sebastian assured that their regional officers are guided on how to select the appropriate and applicable biofertilizers in their areas, such as the process, effectivity, local source, and availability of technical assistance from suppliers.
Meron din siyang requirement na yung biofertilizer na yan must be locally produced. And the last one is, you do not just sell to the government. Hindi lang bibilin ng gobyerno yung produkto na yan. Kailangan, ikaw na kumpanya, meron ka rin kakayahan na tulungan yung mga magsasaka para ituro kung paano ang tamang paggamit ng biofertilizer. Kasi yung nangyayari ko minsan, pagka-scam yan, susuplayan ka lang ng produkto, wala pang quality control.
The DA plans to include biofertilizer use in the agency's budget for 2024 with an initial 1.9 billion peso proposal for the program. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, is conducting its own investigation into the unauthorized fund transfer incident involving GCash. JP Nunez will tell us why.
After GCash stated that there was no hacking incident involved, but rather a system glitch that resulted in the deduction of funds from their users, the Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, insisted that another entity should declare what really happened on their system. The DICT has coordinated with their Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center, or CICC, to conduct its own investigation.
Kung ang loss dahil sa pabaya ng GCash, siyempre dapat bayaran niya ng GCash. It has to be investigated by proper authorities to ascertain whether totoo nga ba yung sinasabi nila o hindi. Dahil siyempre, they're the company that's affected. So, medyo self-serving if ever, if they are the ones who will do the explanations.
The agency will determine whether it was a breach in the system, a leak, a hack, or a phishing incident. The ICT has received several complaints about the digital platform even before the incident occurred. Users should also refrain from providing their personal details through text messaging and avoid logging in their credentials through malicious web pages or links sent to them.
Kung kailan nyo po makipag-transact sa bangko, kung ginagamit niyo po yung mga digital wallets niyo, gamitin niyo po yung app na naroon sa inyong mga mobile phone. Huwag niyo po gagamitin yung web, yung search engine ng web. At kung meron kayo matanggap na text na may link na kailangan i-click niyo, huwag niyo pong i-click yun. Hindi yun ang ginagawa ng mga lehitimong mga bangko na online banking at saka e-wallet system.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Land Transportation Office and the Department of Information and Communications Technology have pushed for the implementation of a digital driver's license as an alternative to address the shortage of plastic cards in the country. Meanwhile, drivers' opinions were divided when it comes to addressing the said issue. Bernadette Tinoy will tell us why.
The Land Transportation or LTO and the Department of Information and Communications Technology or DICT have announced a proposal for a digital driver's license as an alternative to a physical license. According to LTO Chief Assistant Secretary J.R. Tugade, this proposal is in response to the issue of a shortage of plastic cards in the country.
We are working with DICT to come up with a digital license para po ma-address yung shortage ng plastic cards.
Some drivers are in favor of digitalizing the driver's license as it would provide convenience for them in terms of transactions.
Ako, maganda naman yun para hindi na hassle papunta sa LTO.
Pag online na tayo, wala na tayong magagawa kasi yun din papag-ano ng gobyerno natin eh.
However, there are drivers who express frustration as many of them are not fully engaged with technology.
Kung na-online yan, paano naman yung hindi nga sinasabi na hindi marunong illiterate, kung di ba wala yan? O hindi marunong magbasa, hindi marunong mag-computer. Mas maganda na hawakan ng driver kahit anong ilang taon bago ma-expire.
Open naman daw magpunta dun sa pinakamin. Yung hindi ayaw sa online, doon pwede pumunta sa pinakamin. Maraming hindi marunong at saka marami ring walang cellphone na yung para gamitin sa pag-online.
Meanwhile, National Public Transport Coalition President Aaron Lila stated that LTO, DICT, and other agencies should first address the issue concerning drivers who are not fully competent with technology, especially in the province.
Maganda sana yan, pero hindi tayo handa. No? In other country, talaga pong hindi handa para sa digitalized license na yan. Ang kailangan lang dyan magkasundo ang DOT at ang LTO na gawan ng paraan dahil kung yun lang plastic card ang kailangan, sabi ko nga bakit kung sa recto nga sinasabi ng mga senador, ng mga congressman merong mga card, bakit tayo hindi natin magawa yan?
Bernadette Tinoy, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, give glory to God.
Meanwhile, the Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR, reminds taxpayers and the tax-paying public about the deadline on May 15 for the quarterly income tax return for individuals, estates, and trusts, or the BIR form number 1701Q. The agency added that the said deadline is also the last day of availment of the 8%. These deadlines were specified in the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion or TRAIN law, which was first implemented in 2018.
The Food and Agriculture Organization of Afghanistan fears that locust outbreaks in the country could destroy over 1.2 million tons of wheat. Therese Longbowen will tell us why.
The Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO, announced on Wednesday that 8 provinces in the northern regions have seen developments of a Moroccan locust outbreak. They added that the weather over the past months has provided the perfect conditions for an outbreak due to the drought conditions and limited locust control. FAO Representative Richard Trenchard said that the outbreak poses a great threat to farmers and the economy and could destroy up to $480 million worth of crops this year, which could carry over next year's crops or spread to neighboring countries. He added that the FAO and local communities have taken action to reduce the impact via mechanical methods. The United Nations warned that if the outbreak is left untreated, it could worsen the country's current food crisis, in addition to their lack of funding after the Taliban took over power. According to the World Health Organization, nearly 20 million people are experiencing severe hunger in Afghanistan, and almost 6 million are on the brink of famine. Cherise Longbowen, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In an extraordinary development that marks a historic milestone for genetic science, the United Kingdom has witnessed the birth of babies conceived with the combined DNA from 3 individuals in an effort to avoid passing on genetic diseases. Mitochondrial donation treatment, or MDT, involves extracting genetic material from a woman who has defective mitochondria and introducing it into either a healthy donor egg or an embryo with a portion of its DNA removed. The fertilized embryo is then implanted into the mother's womb. According to Robin Lovell-Badge from a biomedical research center in London, it is crucial to monitor the effects of MDT on babies and how it influences their future development. The Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority in the UK has acknowledged the benefits of the technique, such as breaking the cycle of hereditary diseases. However, Britain requires women seeking the treatment to obtain approval under the condition that there are no alternative options to prevent the transfer of genetic disease. As of now, 32 patients have received authorization for such treatment. Meanwhile, the technique has sparked ethical concerns about the potential risks and long-term implications of manipulating human genetic material, which could lead to designer babies for parents who want children that are taller, stronger, smarter, or better looking. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I'm Kat Tumaraos, live from Bangkok, Thailand. Good evening.
The Wish-clusive performance of the Dilao Band at the Wish FM Roadshow for their song Uhaw Tayong Lahat has reached over 6.8 million views. Dilao Band is a Baguio-based indie alternative act or independent alternative rock music act. The melodic ballad track tackles love and describes how it feels to have an intense longing for someone. For more Wish-clusive performances of Dilao Band, just visit the official YouTube account of the one and only FM radio station on wheels, Wish 107.5. Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the pandemic caused by coronavirus, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity from Monday to Friday, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time through the social media accounts of Members Church of God International. And before we close, we will leave you with a word giving glory to God from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 9. It says, "Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor." And those are the reasons behind the news, May 12, 2023, reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.